All right, let's hand it over to Tina Nguyen. She's going to talk with a broadcast legend in Milwaukee. I love this guy, Tim Van Vooren, who's one of my partners on First to North, seen every Tuesday night here on Fox.
Hey, a legend is right. Thanks, Lou. Tim, and thank you for joining us right here on Bears Game Day Live. Of course, we appreciate your time. Let's dive right into this. Packers have really relied on Pro Bowl running back Josh Jacobs down the stretch. Jacobs just earned his third Pro Bowl selection. How has he changed this offense from Aaron Jones?
It's been a big change, Tina. First of all, nice to join you and Lou, and you guys are overselling me for sure, but pretty excited about this game today because it's a preview for the playoffs for the Packers, who might very well be playing in Philadelphia next week. And if that's the case, Josh Jacobs will be big then. He will be big for as long as he plays today, and he's been big this season for the Packers. They acquired him from the Raiders. They knew he could carry the ball a lot. Weren't sure what he would do out of the backfield as a receiver. He's been able to show that side of his game, and he's been so durable. His workload's been strong all season long. It has been a big change from Aaron Jones. He's a zone rush, get outside, show the quickness type rusher. Josh Jacobs between the tackles, banging away on a day like this. That would be what you'd be really relying on if this was a have to win it kind of football game.
So the Packers like to get Jacobs going early in games. He leads the NFL in first quarter touches. What does that say about this group?
They've shifted their game plan offensively. They like to put it on the ground from the beginning. As you said, give him the ball, set the standard, kind of set the tone for the day on the ground, and then later on let Jordan Love open it up a little bit. Their passing offense has not been as dynamic as it's been in the past. Last year, Jordan Love's first year as a starter, and of course prior to that, Aaron Rodgers. Matt LaFleur would like to get that going, but he does believe in the bang-it-out type football that Josh Jacobs gives them the chance to play early on in football games.
Hey, speaking of Jordan Love, I know he's really leaning into this Toyota-thon theory. We saw him repping the merch, but realistically speaking, his numbers down the stretch the last two seasons are impressive. Why is that?
They really are. The Packers have dialed him back a little bit. They gave him a little more freedom earlier this season, and he threw quite a few interceptions earlier this season. After the bye, they've said, this is what we're going to do offensively. It's going to be Josh Jacobs on the ground, and we're going to throw more safe passes than the riskier downfield type throws that most quarterbacks, including Jordan Love, would like. And he's cut that interception number way down. They played very efficient football accordingly. It's not as flashy as Love might like it to be, but it is pretty efficient. You'd expect more of the same today, and that's the Packers' recipe going into the playoffs as well. Josh Jacobs, Josh Jacobs, Josh Jacobs, a lot of body punches, and then over the top with Jordan Love, Tina.
So, Tim, are we really going to see Love for this entire game? And if so, what has he got to do to continue to be efficient and avoid turning the ball over against this Bears defense?
Well, first off, I don't think you'll see him for the entire game. The Packers certainly hope that's not the case. They don't want to be in this to the end, having to play it to try to get to the 6th seed. They'll be watching the scoreboard a little bit to see what the Commanders are doing today. But I think their game plan is Love starts. They get some offensive momentum going again after they didn't play terribly well last week in Minnesota. He protects the football. They don't give the Bears any life. They get back to the locker room. Everybody warms up. They start going for the playoffs. The Bears start revving the buses and heading south.
Tim, last one for you. Packers have struggled against the NFC North. They're 1-4 this season. Their lone win against the Bears. Packers still with something to play for, hoping to clinch that 6th seed with some help from Dallas today. But why has this team struggled against teams in this division?
They have to look in the mirror on that. They've beaten themselves in most of those games and almost lost to the Bears team. If you recall, the blocked field goal, a 1-point game. So they have been dreadful in the NFC North. Their conference record is down. That's why they could well end up with the 7th seed in the NFC, because they just didn't take care of business predominantly in the NFC North, which used to be a walkover. Mike McCarthy early in Matt LaFleur's career, this is where the Packers won a lot of games in the NFC North. Certainly the caliber of play in the division has improved, but the Packers beat themselves in many of these games. That's one of the things they want to clean up, kind of put in the rearview mirror today. Get some confidence and momentum back as they head to the postseason.
Hey, Matt LaFleur, by the way, one of 5 head coaches in NFL history to be undefeated against a franchise. Tim, thank you so much for your time, and do me a favor, stay warm out there.
Sounds great, Tina. Thanks for having me on.